Yo, what's up, guys? I'm Grandmaster Shaymin, and welcome back to another episode of Wolf Tales. It's a brand new day, a brand new way, and I'm really excited to continue on. If you guys are hyped for this episode, make sure you click that like button down below for me, because you already know your support's greatly appreciated, as well as subscribing and leaving a comment in the comment section down below. If you guys missed any of the previous episodes, I highly recommend going back and watching that. You can either click in the playlist, or you can click all the way to the end of this video. At the very end, it should come up with a link that'll link you to the playlist if you guys don't really want to click on the playlist tab. And then you can go back and watch all of the great stuff from this series thus far. I know this has been out for a while, but again, like I've said before, I don't really see a lot of the Yuri version of this, and not to mention, I've wanted to play it for a long time, so. Phew. Alright, girls, I'm back. I have enough canned food to last for 3 winters, even taking into account Fuyu's appetite. I also bought a moon map and some rechargeable batteries for the radio. Who wants to help me unload the truck? Preferably without attacking it. Girls? I enter the cabin, surprised to find it both quiet and empty. As I walk through the cabin, I soon hear the sound of someone talking, though I can't make it out what they're saying. Girls? That's why I'm telling you we need to go now. What do you think is going to happen if we keep wasting our time here? Do you think our mother is going to live forever, and she'll just keep doing your duty for you? I know, but it isn't fair to our mother, but I know I should return. It's only for her sake, but what? You'd rather hang out here playing housewife to some human? What's wrong with that? I like it here, okay? And I enjoy human culture far more than our own. There's no hunting or sacrificing the weak. There's no fighting for food or warmth or constant power struggles. So why can't I stay here? I mean, you just haven't been to human society yet. I mean, throwing it out there, but most of that stuff is, it's just taking into account her living situation. So, why shouldn't I just stay here? What does our pack have to offer that's so special? It isn't about what the pack can offer you, it's about what you can offer the pack. Our kin expect you to lead them, just as your father did before you and your mother is doing right now. Are you going to let them all down because of your own selfishness? Why shouldn't I? I'm sick and tired of being everyone's princess and being held on some kind of pedestal because of who my father was. I don't want to be a leader. Just because everyone keeps saying I'll be the next pack leader doesn't make it true. All I want is to live out my days in peace, like a human. Interesting. It's funny because in human society, there are so many people that are just like, man, if I could just go out into the wilderness and live, just by my lonesome, like a wolf or something. There's quite a large number of people that want that kind of lifestyle, and maybe like being a wolf in this case is a little bit of metaphoric sense, but I don't know, it's kind of interesting to see the opposite of that. And of course, she does have the kind of regular princess power struggle thing that you see all the time. And it kind of makes sense. Either a princess or a prince will... There's really 3 types that you'll see. You'll see one that just revels in the power, that wants all the power, wants to be the leader of the entire land, who's just craving it. Usually, most of the time they're evil, though that's not necessarily the case either. There's some people who want that power to do good for people, but you see those kind of people. There are the people that are kind of like sworn to duty, like that if they could choose, they would rather live kind of like a freeloading life, but they also prefer... They don't get that choice. They're like, this is my duty. I have to do this. I'm okay with that because, I was born into this and I want to be the person that these people need. And then there are the third party, which she falls under, which is usually a large majority of stories where one of the princesses are like a central point, especially princesses. Princes usually not so much. I don't know what it is, but most depictions of princes are usually in the I crave power, and a lot of the time they end up being evil. Um, but a lot of the time you'll see princesses, hell, even in Escape from the Princess, which we just finished not that long ago, where the princess wants to get away no matter what. You know, they don't want the kind of strife and overbearing responsibility of being a princess. The lifestyle is really cramped. They have a lot of responsibility, and like they know that other people kind of glorify that position. Like if I was in your position, I could do so much, and they were like, "Well, take it then." Like I don't want it. You can have this kind of position, and so she does fall into that uh, pretty cookie cutter category pretty well. But I mean, I like how you can kind of tell the slight differences between the kind of wolf society and the human society. But there's also so many similarities in those societies. Like in a lot of shows and stuff where they have princes and stuff, it's the kind of, you know, you get that I want to live like a normal life, but can't. I'm not really sure exactly where I was going with that, but you kind of get what I'm saying, right? Well, she just got bitch slapped in the face. The sound of chatter dies down in an instant. All that can be heard throughout the cabin is the echo of Fuyu's palm striking Mirari's cheek. Unsure of whether I should step in or not, I remain frozen on the spot, watching silently to see who will make the first move. I'm sorry. I'm sorry for letting you all down like this, but my mind is made up. I'm not returning to the pack. Fine. Have it your way, princess. We'll be better off without a selfish human sympathizer like you leading us anyway. Fuyu pushes past Mirari and heads for the door. Without saying another word, Mirari rubs her cheek, quietly fighting back tears as she tries to remain strong. Alright, so I assume this is like a major point on which ending. I'm pretty sure you can get a Mirari ending and a Fuyu ending, but not like it's not like a Sakura Sadist, which if you guys didn't see that, you should go watch it. But that one where you get the polyamorous relationship where all three of them are kind of like in with each other. I think this ones are legitimately just monogamous relationships. So, do we want to do Mirai first, or do we want to do Fuyu? I think we're going to follow Fuyu. I don't know why, but I've really taken a liking to Fuyu. Maybe it's just me being like, I like the kind of tsundere types. Am I generic? Before she can disappear from my sight, I quickly follow after Fuyu. Departing from the same door which I've just entered, Fuyu runs out in the snow, seemingly without any purpose or direction. She simply runs straight ahead, intent on creating as much distance between herself and Mirari as she can. Slow down, would you? I'm not as athletic as you are. Abby-chan, what are you... Oh, I get it. The princess couldn't bring herself to face me, so she sent you to do her bidding, is that it? Fuyu, initially surprised to see me, quickly adopts an expression of annoyance. Her bid for solitude has failed, and rather than being greeted by the face of her best friend, the one who chases after her is her least favorite human. Nobody sent me anywhere. I saw you running away from the cabin in tears, so I thought I'd better check up on you. I wasn't in tears, and if I was, they were righteous tears of anger. God, her reactions are so cute. You can't, like, can you blame me for liking her but the better of the two? Righteous anger, huh? It's probably because I can relate more to Mirari. Like, I feel like more of that kind of relation. And for me, like, that means that I want to be, like, in her shoes rather than, like, date her. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want there to be a connection and I want us to have, like, similarities. But personality-wise, I do want her personality to be different than mine. Mirari has a very similar personality to me, so maybe it's not quite as... There's not quite as much of a connection in that sense, I guess. What happened? Did Minati refuse to give you seconds for breakfast? I played dumb and intentionally provoked Fuyu, thinking that this way she'll be more likely to slip up and accidentally tell me the truth. Unfortunately, it's none of your business. Get lost, human. My pale flails almost immediately. Oh, come on, Fuyu, don't be like that. Besides, even if you don't tell me, you know that Minati will. Would you rather have me hear your side of the story? Why should I care what you hear? It's not like you take my side anyway. You don't know that. Try me. I might surprise you. Fuyu turns away, but she doesn't actually refuse. After thinking over my words for a moment, she lets out a sigh, turns to face me once more. Fine, I'll enlighten you. This may be difficult for a human to understand, but within the pack, everyone has their own role and responsibilities. For some of us, that's gathering food. For others, it's building shelter. In Minati's case, it's her duty to lead us. She must protect us from harm, make difficult decisions about our future, and ensure that everyone does their part to help out. Most importantly, it's up to our leader to solve any disputes which arise. They must put an end to any bickering, quell unrest within the pack before it becomes a problem. Are you with me so far, Abby-chan? Yeah, I understand what you're saying. Make decisions, keep everyone in the place, stop infighting, typical leadership. Good. I'm glad this isn't too difficult for you. Now, given the responsibilities of a leader, what do you think would happen if our leader suddenly abandoned us? A new leader would be chosen? A new leader would take the position by force. Democracy has never worked for our kind. At the end of the day, whoever is the strongest will attempt to seize control, with or without the support of the pack. In the best case scenario, they take over without a fight, and everyone accepts their new leader right away. If they don't, or if more than one person puts their hand up, then there's a power struggle. The wannabe leaders kill one another, or if they don't want to fight, they take their own followers and form their own pack. Either way, the pack loses its power. It's reduced in size, possibly fragmented, and everyone needs to cover multiple roles to fill in the gaps. But I don't think that's the end of the matter, Abby-chan. What I just described is simply the beginning. I unconsciously gulp as I try to take in everything Fuyu has just told me. Honestly, I'm surprised. Minati's desertion is beginning to sound far more serious than I thought. I can now see why Fuyu is so serious about bringing Minati back home with her. Wow, that's quite a lot to process. I never thought Minati's disappearance would have such a profound impact. Well, now you understand. Can I count on you to give Minati a push in the right direction when the time comes? I won't do that or change the subject. So either way, we're not going to say yes. Shit, this is a really hard decision, actually. I'm sorry, Fuyu, but even knowing their situation, I'm not going to do that. Minati's decision is hers alone, and I won't influence it any more than I already have. If she'd rather live in solitude than return to her pack, then I won't try and tell her not to. Do you really think Minati would be okay like this? What do you mean, like what? You know, out here all alone, living like you do. The princess may say she wants to be separate from the pack, but do you think she's really capable of it? So you're talking about Minati's well-being now, rather than that of the pack. No, I can't say that I think Minati would be suited for the life of a loner. It takes a great deal of strength, both physically and mentally, to live on your own, far removed from society. I may not know Minati as well as you do, but personally, I don't think she'd cope. Indeed, I believe we are in agreement. The princess's strength lies in how she interacts with others. On her own, she is quite hopeless. I kind of figured that was the case. Living in solitude isn't for everyone. I agree. The princess ought to live her life in safety and comfort surrounded by others. No, not just the princess. I believe that applies to all people. Everyone? That's a bit of a stretch. I'm actually pretty happy out here by myself, you know. Are you really? Fuyu narrows her gaze and she scrutinizes my face. You say that you're happy out here, but wouldn't you rather be with your friends and family? Wouldn't you prefer to make a difference in the lives of others and to share in their life experiences? Well, maybe sometimes, but aren't I already doing what you just suggested? A smile surfaces on my face as I take the opportunity to share my perspective with Fuyu. You just implied that I should be living with my family, because that way I would make a difference in the lives of people other than myself. But isn't that exactly what I've been doing out here? I don't mean to brag, but a few days ago I saved a life, Mirari's life. If I had not been living out here, far away from civilization, that girl would have died. Fuyu goes quiet. Even if she doesn't agree with my lifestyle, there's no way she can complain about me for saving her friend's life. Anyway, even if I've never met Mirati, I don't think there's any shame in choosing to live for and by yourself. I came out here because I wanted to get away from everyone, and that's exactly what I've done. So while I personally don't think my lifestyle would work for Mirati, I'm not about to tell her what she can and cannot do with her life. Maybe she'll miss everyone and come back. Maybe she'll enjoy living in solitude. Either way, I think Mirati's decision, and whatever she decides, I think it's Mirati's decision, and whatever she decides, you're just gonna have to live with it. I think we're gonna have to agree to disagree. I can see your point, and you've given me a lot to think about, but at this moment I cannot accept Mirati's selfishness. That's fine. If you'll agree to try and see things her way, then I think that's plenty. And knowing Mirati, it's probably all she ever hoped for. I wonder what would have happened if we changed the subject. But it's kind of interesting. Like, the character's absolutely right. Like, I think that it's kind of hard to say whether people can and cannot, live with other people. Because there's some people that are like, they don't want to be around other people. They want to go live in the forest or something like she did and live by herself. And she's absolutely right. If she had not done that, then the princess would have perished. Mirati would have died in the snow. 100% would have died. Because it wasn't until over 12 hours later, more than 12 hours later, that she was found in this cabin by Fuyu. So it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. Like, I think that ultimately it should be up to Mirati to make that decision. And, like, we're not part of the pack. We don't really know what it's like for them. And I know that it's hard for the pack to do that, but at the same time, like, it's hard because you want to live for other people, and that I get that. I'm going to school right now to be a teacher. I 100% understand the whole living to help other people and to be an impact on their lives. But at the same time, if you completely neglect yourself, you're not only going to be not happy, but that unhappiness can actually affect the people around you. I'm pretty sure everyone out here has seen teachers that are grumpy all the time, uptight little witches, They're like, "Alright, class. Today we're gonna do this, that, and the other, whether you like it or not." Everyone's gotta have those teachers every now and again, right? Those teachers don't help you. Those teachers don't make you want to stay in class. But initially they went into teaching because they want. Most people go into teaching because they want to initially help other people. But then it turns out to not be for them, And they feel like they have to do it because other people need teachers. Teachers are, especially here in the United States, like, teaching is a profession that people still go into, but we are losing teachers, really. Like, there are not as many people wanting to be teachers as there used to be, and the education system is kind of flopping right now. It's on the decline. So it's one of those things where, yes, teaching in general, or for a lot of people, like, what they are good at, most of the time it will help other people. But if you're going to sit there and be grumpy about it because you find out that you don't like it, it's not for you, like in Mirati's case, being the pack leader is not for her. She's going to be a grumpy gills all the time, and it's just not going to, well, I guess grumpy lungs all the time, and she's just not going to be happy. And that's going to affect the pack. I guarantee it. You get those people, like, it's the same thing. A teacher might start off in their first year of teaching super enthusiastic. By year 20, when she found out year 1, like the end of year 1, that she doesn't really want to become a teacher, by year 20, everyone in the class hates her. Because it's so hard to keep up that act and pretend that you're happy about working in a place that you don't want to work at for that long, And sometimes you gotta suck it up and you gotta do stuff like that to live, but at the same time, she has that opportunity to not do that. She can go out and live on her own if she wants to, For some people, Like, if you go into teaching and you realize that it's not for you by year 2, it's too late to go back and do anything about it, right? And so you just decide, well, I mean, this makes more money than being a Wendy's drive-thru employee, so I might as well do this. But she has the chance. Like, if those people had the opportunity to switch their career paths, if they had that job offer from a place that they want to work at, then they would take it. So it's not really our place to say that what she's doing is wrong. And, potentially, what happens if her leaving, the new pack leader turns out to be really, really good and help the pack flourish and people are thriving for years to come because she decided to walk out. And if she would have stayed, things could have been really, really bad because she didn't want to do it in the first place and she might not even be good at it. God, that got a lot too philosophical. Dude, this episode is way too philosophical. I'm sorry. Once Fuyu has returned to the cabin, it takes no time at all for the two wolf girls to make up. With Minari taking the lead, both girls are soon in tears, apologizing to one another and wishing to make amends. I watch on in relief, glad to see the dear friends on good terms once more. Maybe the fight wasn't as bad as it sounded. Either that, or this isn't the first time they've had this particular fight. Whatever the case, I'm glad these two are getting along again. Abby-chan! I look down as Minari leaves Fuyu's side and suddenly addresses me. Yes, Minari? I just wanted to thank you one more time. Thank me? For what? I didn't do anything. You two made up all on your own. Minari shakes her head. Not that. Or perhaps I should say, not just that. Abby-chan, you've done so much for us, all without asking for a thing in return. I mean, we did ask you to do our chores, didn't we? So, I mean, you might be stretching that a little bit, but that got me thinking. Maybe there's something we can do for you after all. Okay. I thought about cooking and cleaning already counted as a pretty nice thank you, but what do you have in mind? Minari and Fuyu take a look at each other and then nod in agreement. You'll see soon enough. Grab a thick coat. We'd hate to have you freeze to death on our way over. Are we going to the pack? Are they going to show us their hometown? Is that what they're doing? Dressed in a thick coat, I follow the girls outside and head down the path they previously attempted to take home. From the moment we leave the cabin, Mirari is smiling from ear to ear. Even Fuyu can't completely contain her excitement. Wherever we're going, it must be somewhere pretty special. How much further? It isn't far now, Abby-chan. Just hang in there a little while longer. Yeah, don't collapse on us now. What kind of independent woman are you? One who's already spent enough time outside today. Well, if you have the energy to retort, you should be fine. Don't worry, it's only a short walk from here. Any second now we'll be able to... there it is! Mirari jumps up and down on the spot while pointing towards the mountain. I strain my eyes to see what she's so excited about, but all I can see is a hole in the side of the mountain. What is it, a cave? Not just any cave. Yes, it's what can be found inside the cave that matters. Inside the cave, huh? You better not be leading me into a bear's den or anything. Oh, of course not. Don't be silly, Abby-chan. Yeah, the bears are all hibernating this time of year anyway, so even if we wanted to get rid of you, luring you into a bear's den would be a poor way of doing it. I mean, it worries me that you seem to have given this some thought. Despite my apprehension, I follow the wolf girls to the mouth of the cave. After spending a short time walking through the cave, the temperature begins to rise to the point where I feel comfortable taking off my coat. Finally, we near the cave's innermost point. I understand what the girls wanted to show me. It's a hot spring? Okay. Okay. Hey, it censored it for me. It feels so good. In the depths of the cave, we find, of all things, a natural hot spring. Doubting my own eyes, I stand in front of the hot spring, mouth agape, while the girls cast aside their clothing and jump in without hesitation. A hot spring here? How does that work? And is this a dormant volcano or something? Who cares? The water feels great. Obligatory shower, or obligatory freaking onsen scene, something like that. I don't know. Okay, maybe not obligatory, but like 70% of anime hot spring scene. Slice of life-ish related anime. Yeah, whatever. You can say that again. Come in and join us, Abby-chan. I think I'm gonna stay out here. Why? I mean, the water is probably filled with bacteria, not to mention all sorts of sharp rocks at the base of it. I think I'll be safer out here. Oh, come on, don't be like that. We brought you in here to thank you, Abby-chan. We can't do that if you don't get in. Oh, believe me, this is already thanks enough. I mean, we're lesbian, right? We're like, The gods have blessed me this day. 2 wolf girls are naked in front of me. I could just imagine our character just being like, well, this is... Thank you for thanking me. I avert my gaze as I try to distract myself from the sublime figures of the 2 naked wolf girls in front of me. Sublime. It's quite the descriptor. Seeing my reaction, Merari pouts and swims closer. Hey, what do you think you're doing? Isn't it obvious? If you won't get in on your own, I'll just have to pull you in. If you pull me in right now, my clothes are gonna get soaked and I'll freeze to death on the way home. Then take them off and jump in yourself. Fuyu snickers as Merari shows a surprisingly forceful side of her personality. It seems she doesn't like the idea of her kindness being refused. So, hurry up! Feeling the effects of peer pressure, I begin to strip the rest of my clothing off. Finally, I'm down to my panties, which I wordlessly strip away, all while strategically hiding myself in modesty. Hiding my sensitive bits with my hands, I nervously stand in front of the 2 curious wolf girls. We're just bathing. Stop being such a prude. So I'm the weird one for having shame, am I? Whatever. Don't say I didn't warn you. Moving closer to the water, I realize I can't get into the water without completely exposing myself. I'll have to use my hands on the edge of the rocks. I decide that getting in from a back-facing view would be more modest. As soon as I turn around, she's so strange looking. What? Don't say that about a girl's body. I'm talking about your butt, idiot. It looks weird that you don't have a tail. It's just sticking out. I can totally see all of your butt. Embarrassed and angry, I quickly sink into the hot water. I'm sorry. She's right, though. Completely weird that we don't have a tail. Fun fact for you. Until, what is it? Like, is it 6 months? In the womb, for a very significant amount of time, you have a tail. True story. It would be nice to keep it. That'd be cool. Especially if it grew fur like that. It looked really cute. But it would probably be more like a, Mew from Pokemon? It'd be more like that tail. That's pretty much the kind of tail that you'd find. Little pinpricks sting all along my body, and for a second I worry it's going to be too hot. But then the feeling dissipates. Soon I'm able to adjust the temperature and relax. Well, sort of. Fuyu is staring at me and not even trying to hide it. Her eyes are sharp, and she pays absolutely no mind to my feelings of embarrassment. She's pretty much the worst possible person for a newbie to the art of public bathing to be around. We really are similar. It's so strange seeing a naked human girl. Do you... Wait, what? Why would we ask that? I thought we were embarrassed. Do you want me to get up so you can have a closer look? Yes, go ahead and come closer. I was being sarcastic. You don't have any idea how rude you're being. Put yourself in my position. What position? Humans don't bathe around each other, Fuyu. They feel embarrassment when exposing themselves in the nude to others. Oh. Despite this explanation, Fuyu continues staring. Fine, whatever, I don't care. Feeling the effects of the relaxing water, I let my arms drift away from my body, no longer caring that Fuyu is scrutinizing me. Wow, you girls weren't kidding. Right? I found this place last time I ran away from the pack. Nice to hear that something good came from your mischief. Something good always comes from my mischief. She smiles coyly as she brings one hand to her face. Ever since she jumped into the hot spring, Mirari's acting less reserved than usual. I guess I'm a little bit of a mischief. I guess a little bit of mischief is okay now and again, considering how well behaved you usually are. Though speaking of mischief, I turn around and look at Fuyu. Rather than join Mirari and I, Fuyu is sitting by herself. She continues to squirm around, rubbing her thighs together with a red face. It couldn't be. Ever since I stopped trying to hide my body in front of her, Fuyu has been keeping to herself. Wait a second. Is she got the hots for us? Is she? She's twitching, grabbing her thighs. What do we have here? What are you doing hiding away over there? Princess, what are you doing? Seeing Fuyu sitting all by herself, Minari decides it's time to intervene. You have to clean yourself properly, Fuyu. I know you usually like to lick yourself clean, but it would be a shame to let this opportunity go to waste. No, Princess, don't. Having your breasts have grown again, haven't they, Fuyu? And your skin is so smooth. I'm surprised you're still so gorgeous considering how rarely you bathe. But Princess, please stop this. What's gotten into you? Is this water messing with your brain? Oh, don't be like that. I'm not the only one acting different, right? No, I can wash myself. Please, Princess, just... yeah. Minari and Fuyu continue to play in the water while I desperately try to hide my reaction. I don't think I'm going to be able to relax much during this bath either. Well, that seems to be the case with baths. Every now and again. Well, thank you guys for watching this episode. Make sure you guys hit that like button down below for me because you already know your support is greatly appreciated. Make sure you comment in the comment section down below for me and subscribe if you have not already. So thank you guys so much, and we'll see you all in the next episode.